Hey everyone, welcome. We're thrilled to be joined by Chris from eVerge Group to add his perspective on the increasing importance for service leaders to invest in the customer and employee experience. Hey Chris, thanks for being here. And I thought we'd get started by having you share a quick introduction to eVerge and your role there.
Hey, well, thanks, Rick, for the opportunity here to speak about the eVerge story and really our success in the service economy. And a little bit about eVerge. We're a 30-year-old Oracle-focused consulting firm with global presence here in Texas as well as India. And just like Oracle, we have really scaled up, across the various Oracle cloud acquisitions to date. But we truly have a heavy focus on the CX side. And I'll cover really just kind of three areas that really distinguish us from our peers. And first and foremost, we are multi-pillar focused. And we're one of very few that support really that front office and back office story across CX, HCM, and ERP. And we think that you really need to be able to support business processes across all three pillars to really unlock value for our shared customers. The second aspect is we have legacy, cloud migrations from the legacy cloud products, and that really helps our customers shift to the cloud in a much, much more efficient manner. And then, really lastly, we have very specialized horizontal and vertical expertise and solutions around field service, incentive comp, and particular industries like industrial manufacturing, financial services, and et cetera. So we bring, really cut resources to sales cycles and projects that really speak the business vocabulary of that customer. And from a personal side, I'm our CTO. I really steer our technology direction and really grew up in the delivery side of the organization, which really brings us to one of my favorite topics, which is service.
And that's fantastic. And thanks for sharing that. And with 30 plus years of experience, you and the team at eVerge have been working with service-driven companies. You've had a front row seat as technology, people, and process have come together to elevate experiences. Starting with the customer, are there any innovative examples you've seen of companies redefining the customer experience that you'd like to share with our audience?
Absolutely. And Rick, it's interesting. Customers are much more impatient, right, than ever. And, the level of service expectations really have increased. And it's really due to our consumer experiences, right? There's a bleed over of the level of patience that we're seeing. And they expect that with B2B experiences as well. And we have a large oil and gas services company based in Texas. And at that time, it was one of the largest field service projects in Oracle history. And what I love about it is we were actually capturing well data, right? When we think of well data of pressure, temperature, recordings, measurements, et cetera, we were actually bringing that in and, really trying to determine if service was needed or maybe service was needed in the future. And this customer was actually really shifting from a reactive, right, to a proactive service model, really before IoT was becoming really hot and an industry buzzword. And you have to ask yourself, why were they doing it? And it's because the customer matters, right? And that was innovative at that time and really bringing them much closer to their customer.
Yeah, it's really interesting how that cycle of innovation, can start in a lot of different places, right? And you mentioned that these consumerized experiences that we're having really do need to bleed over into how you engage with businesses and brands of all kinds. Shifting focus, how about the employee experience? We know that there are significant shifts happening across mobile workforces, really in nearly every industry. And even as the average years of experience of technicians in their current roles decreases, their understanding of how to use technology to do their jobs more effectively is vastly superior to the older generation. How are you seeing companies embrace these shifts?
I think you got to take a step back and layer on, right, this era that we're going through with really this great exodus or resignation, right, of employees. So our customers understand that the employee experiences matter too as well. And we are seeing much more workflow and automation really baked into our projects to really make that mundane much more productive. And there's some recent product announcements on Field Service Cloud, which really makes our life easier from an implementation perspective. And so, we have a customer in the Northeast that really focuses on the propane delivery and service business, and they have standardized on a full Oracle stack from both front office and back office. And, in their field service implementation that we did for them, we really developed a lot of automation around forms, processes, checklists, et cetera, to really guide their field techs to capture key information. And this information, it's gas checks, pressure checks, et cetera, around the propane side. And so it's mission critical, right? It has to be perfect and it has to be accurate. I think the other, aspect from an employee side is, they are, no one wants to enter information twice. And you think of as a field tech, I'm capturing time, I'm capturing expenses, perhaps I'm making parts requests, checking inventory, et cetera. No one wants to do that, more than once at the end of the day. And this process was pen and paper for this particular customer. So we truly unlocked a lot of value for that particular use case. And I work with a lot of salespeople, so I gotta focus on a sales use case here. But Rick, this is probably one that's most exciting out of all of it. Is we are actually capturing referrals from the service side, and so passing on opportunities, leads, et cetera, and truly monetizing the service channel at the end of the day by tracking the incremental revenue, right, that service techs are producing. And Rick, who doesn't want to generate more revenue from their service experiences?
That's right. I mean, that is a big topic. And how do you move this historic cost center kind of into this new model where it can generate revenue? I also really appreciated what you said about reducing some of that data capture burden on field employees, because we know that it's documented that is the least favorite part of a field technician's day-to-day job. And in this climate, right, keeping every employee happy, engaged is utmost importance. So that kind of wraps it up. We're really excited about the opportunities in front of us to elevate experiences for customers, employees. We're equally excited to have a great partner in eVerge to work together to help service teams, our shared customers, achieve their goals. Chris, I really want to thank you for jumping on with me today, and look forward to many, many years of continued partnership.
Likewise. And Rick, thanks for the opportunity really to tell the eVerge story and really what we're seeing in the service economy from a use case perspective. Thank you.
Great, thanks.